I first watched Avatar: The Last Airbender when I was a teenager, mostly because I heard everyone talk about how good it was, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. After a slightly slower first season, I really got into the show and thoroughly enjoyed seasons 2 and 3. One thing I did notice was that I didn't really see myself in any of the characters. Which is fine. A good show isn't always going to have a personal character or connection to everyone, and Avatar is still a fantastic show. But usually my favorite shows have a character I relate to, or see myself in. The closest character in Avatar to my personality would probably be Katara, but I'm not exactly like her either. Anyway, I enjoyed the show for what it was, I enjoyed its excellent writing and interesting characters, and then moved on. A few years ago, I watched the show She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and I loved it. I got super into it, and I immediately connected with Adora and saw myself in her. I saw her past and her struggle and her need to sacrifice everything for those she loved, and I saw myself in that. And it was only recently, while rewatching some clips of Avatar while thinking about She-Ra, that I realized how similar two of their characters were. Catra and Zuko. Both disregarded by those who raised them, both angry and resentful of those around them, and both eventually turning to the hero's side thanks largely to a positive influence in their life. But if I can draw a parallel between Catra and Zuko, what about their counterparts, Adora and Azula? These two girls are so fundamentally different, despite both receiving similar, and what some could consider better, treatment growing up. If Catra and Zuko are parallels, why are Adora and Azula so different? Not just in their endings, but in the entirety of who they are throughout the show. Why did I so easily identify myself in Adora, but not Azula? I want to quickly talk about the dynamic of the golden child and the scapegoat. These are roles that can be imposed on children while growing up. The golden child is held up to a high standard by caregivers, praised as being smart or strong or capable or powerful, and is often seen as an extension of the caregiver. The scapegoat, meanwhile, is at best neglected and at worst abused, and they take the brunt of criticism and blame. Adora and Azula both embody the golden child, adored by Ozai and Shadow Weaver respectively for the power they possess, but not actually for who they are as people. And the golden child role takes on very different forms for these two. Adora joins the side of the heroes as soon as she sees that the Horde is hurting other people, and she uses her new powers as She-Ra to help others. Azula, on the other hand, doubles down on the abuse she sees, and readily uses her powers to intimidate those around her. You couldn't have two more different characters, right? Actually, Adora and Azula are more similar than you'd think. Both are deeply insecure and experience self-loathing. Both feel the need to maintain perfection in their life and reject connection and help from others. And to an extent, both are naive to their abuse. When Adora leaves the Horde, she tells Catra that they've been lying to us, manipulating us, Hordak, Shadow Weaver, all of them. And Catra responds with, duh. In a similar way, Zuko was keenly aware of his father's cruelty from a young age, and came to realize that it only hurt him, it didn't help him. While Azula was also aware of Ozai's cruelty, she believed it was the best way to make her strong, and that it was necessary. As the scapegoats, both Catra and Zuko are forced to be more independent and resourceful, leading to a greater self-awareness. They didn't receive the abuser's manipulative love, so they weren't fooled by it as easily or for as long. So if Adora and Azula are similar, why do their stories end so differently? Well, I think it comes down to their mindset, and the divide that a lot of children raised in abusive situations face. Due to being the golden child, Azula adapted to control her fear by becoming narcissistic, taking on the entitled, superior mindset of her father. And due to being the golden child, Adora opted to control her fear by becoming hyper-aware of emotions, becoming a people pleaser, and putting others above herself. Both had high expectations, and those expectations caused one to see herself too highly and one to see herself as worthless. Both victims coping in the only way they know how. All of this leads to what I've now realized, that I can see parts of myself in Azula too. Her anger, her resentment, the way she breaks down when things don't go exactly according to her plan, her pure, raw desperation. It was easy for me to see myself in the kind and self-sacrificing nature of Adora, but it's much harder to see the parts of myself that aren't as noble, the parts I see in Azula. But ultimately, Adora's need to self-sacrifice her need to give every part of herself, and Azula's fear and need to take everything for herself are two sides of the same coin. They're both self-destructive, and both due to the way they were raised. Just because someone grows up within the dynamic of the golden child, it doesn't mean they're going to fit into either of these roles. These are just fictional characters, and this analysis is just for fun. But I do believe that fiction can teach us about the world, and I hope this video helped teach someone something. Thank you so much for watching. I'm trying my best to make decent quality videos, even though I'm very new to this. I apologize that what I produce doesn't match the quality I see in my head, but I hope you still enjoyed it anyway. Again, it means the entire world to me if even just one person watches. I freaked out when I saw my last video got over 100 views. But yeah, if you want to, please leave a comment letting me know what you think about Adora and Azula and their dynamics, and I hope you have a great day.